Welcome back once again. Unfortunately, we are here to talk about the demise of the Alliance. I did something a few weeks ago about the bankruptcy, and someone made a negative comment at the time that really bothered me. And I don't want to say, I told you so, because that wasn't the purpose, that wasn't my intention. It was just to deliver information. I attempted to start an independent baseball league at one point, so I know the ups and downs of what they're going through. We were assured that they had the money to make this work, and of course, as you can see, they didn't. They had to go get a loan. And then the guy who gave them the loan is going on TV saying they'll have to fold if they don't get cooperation from the NFL Player Association and all that. The Player Association has no reason to give them players, even though they were looking for like third stringers, practice squad guys, and all that. And I didn't think they needed it. But Tom Dundon is more of a Wall Street or Silicon Valley investor, not football. The two businesses are just run differently. He was right on one thing: they didn't have the infrastructure, which Bill Polian agreed. And notice, Bill Polian and Charlie Ebersol aren't saying anything negative about Dundon and his decision to pull the plug. He was the money guy, so they made him the guy who can pull the plug. The whole $250 million wasn't even promised. It was basically, he gives money. If they move forward, he gives more money. And I guess they weren't moving fast enough for his liking. But again, it's football, not Silicon Valley. That's the thing. Sports are different. Sometimes first year leagues lose a lot of money and then come back the following years. I don't know if they would have, but pulling the plug in week 8 when they're right about to have games showcased on CBS and then have their playoffs, that's kind of rough. But that's what happened with the last few leagues. They did not make it to the final weeks. In this case, they actually had the money to do it, but they pulled the plug. Some people are saying part of the reason is MGM wants to buy their tech, or MGM's part of the group that wants to buy the tech. Tom Dundon most likely wants the tech also. I don't know what they really had since the infrastructure wasn't there, but I know they had something with gambling and everything else. Maybe they wanted to do something with the way they did commercials and all that too, because I would say that was innovative compared to what the NFL does. Also, the Sky Judge. Technically, you can own the concept. If someone else uses it, charge them money, like a trademark. But yeah, and even the onside kick. Someone proposed that at the NFL meetings. He made it sound like it was some new wild idea, but it was done in the Alliance. I don't know what to think right now. I was kind of hoping they did make it because the product was a good product. It was good football. They showed how a game can be played and keep it under 3.5 hours. But money is what makes the engine run. Now, I just listened to an interview with Bill Polian, and he said the one thing that I was thinking: only one of these leagues is going to have a real chance. And they jumped the gun because they wanted to beat the XFL out the gate. Because if you think about it, how much sponsorship money is there going to be for a first year league? If you make it through that first year, then yes, people will be throwing money at you. But that didn't happen. Now the XFL, which is taking more time and has Vince McMahon, who has a whole ton of money to throw at it, they take center stage. And Vince McMahon has made an offer to buy the tech from the Alliance, which would put him ahead of the curve because maybe they don't have their tech set yet. Also, the players. You will most likely see a lot of them go to the XFL. Some will probably get jobs in the NFL. But Johnny Manziel could be there for the Dallas team. Because one of the things that Vince McMahon can do that the Alliance just couldn't is offer more money. The Alliance had to stick to their strict salary cap. Vince McMahon is going to give quarterbacks more money. The Alliance capped the top quarterbacks at $100,000. Vince McMahon has it at $250,000, I believe. And in special cases, he will give extra money. So I can't think of a quarterback who would qualify for that now. But let's say there was Colin Kaepernick. There we go. He's someone who might be offered more money. Supposedly he asked the Alliance for $20 million. Vince McMahon could give him $20 million if he wanted to, but I doubt it would be that number. Especially since he's been out of football for how many years now? But he's a marquee name. And, just say he goes to $1 million a year or whatever the number is. He's a marquee name, puts eyes on the TV sets. Unfortunately, even though they say the Alliance is suspended, that basically means they're done. They're not coming back, because that means you have to have all the startup money again and start again next year when the XFL is there. That's just too hard to do, especially when Vince McMahon is going to put all his money behind the project. So, as of now, I would take the word suspension as meaning it's done. Because even Bill Polian doesn't know what the word suspension means. Most of the employees were already let go. So, what else is there? I guess now we look forward to next year when the XFL is actually going and go from there. Vince McMahon did it once before. He can possibly do it again. And maybe he'll bring Ebersol in since he is the son of the guy who helped him with the XFL. Maybe he'll bring in Bill Polian. He already has Andrew Luck's father, Oliver Luck, as the commissioner. So that would give the XFL a foot up on any other competition that might be out there. But what Bill Polian said in this interview may be right. There may only be room for one league. So for someone else to give it a shot, I just don't know. It takes a lot of money to do it. The XFL, he has the capital. It just depends if he can get people to watch and keep watching. No mishaps like what happened last time. Unfortunately, that's the end of the Alliance. It was good football, solid product, but no money. This is what happens with independent leagues. But now, Vince McMahon will have the time slot to himself for Saturdays next spring. There are more open stadiums now that one league is gone. Unfortunately, a lot of people will lose their jobs, but there may be opportunity next year for some of them. All right, I guess that's the end of spring football talk until next year, unless something happens in between now and then. So this is Kill Switch signing off.